Uh, it's a privilege to be able to speak and follow after professors and doctors, educators, and government dignitaries. I don't have a long lecture as I'm a techie, so we don't do lectures. And I want to start basically with, is there anybody here? Any of these young guys and girls from IT area? Anyone doing an IT degree here? Okay, one person at least. So I'm not going to follow the slides too much, but I want to jump through some of them since we're running short on time. What I'm going to cover here is everything that's been discussed here, how we implement that, how we manage that, how we track that, and how we keep these government stakeholders accountable. So that's what we are offering as an application to manage a system to define, manage, track skills development and a delivery mechanism. I'll also cover some next steps with some ideas. I'll skip through some of the slides due to the time constraints. I just want to make a comment on some of the things covered already. What I've done is taken from yesterday as a feedback into what we are doing. So how do we facilitate managing that? Because prior to that, we have an application. We know we can manage and track and report on activities. So this is specifically I've taken the things that apply to the specific areas of concern or issues. So what we are offering is an end-to-end management application. So what does that mean? Schools, colleges, employers, parents are on a single platform, connected. I see a lot of the things being raised by some of the delegates that how do we know how effective the education system is? How do we know what funding is coming? How is it resulting in employment? And I know we have lots of programs, and I've seen some programs where degree college, we have a development center in Mohali, and we recruit in that area, engineers in that, software engineers in that area, and we are finding that we need to interview 50 people, and 2 are employable. And a part of that issue is that the training programs that are attached to degree courses are basically a business. So it's a place to certificate and to qualify for your degree certificate. And that's part of the problem why the skills are not there. This is another point raised by Ms. Miro, is that a lot of the things happen. A lot of people come and give lectures, we discuss plans, we discuss programs, then in the end we are back to square one. So today I think everybody here has probably heard the term big data, and this is really the way to track and manage and make those programs effective. So I'll move on through the slides. Okay, in USA. I've lived in Silicon Valley for 20 years. I worked for startups. One of the things that you learn when you join a startup with 4 people, you realize when you work for IBM, you walk for a cup of coffee. It takes you 20 minutes to come back because there's lots of people you meet on the way, and lots of fancy coffee set up. And then when you move to a startup, you are sitting here, your boss is sitting there, and the other 3 people are sitting there, and the coffee machine is in the corner, about 4 feet away. So you walk over, you want to stretch your legs, you got your cup of coffee. And that's the culture in, I think, Professor Nurullah also mentioned the work culture. And that's the culture in Silicon Valley. And this is why although the most expensive place in the world probably to live and work and rent and employ, but still every company has presence there. And that's the kind of culture we are promoting through tracking and accountability. So that's what I'm going to cover over the next few slides. And what I've done here is I've basically taken from each of the delegates and I think the issues were highlighted very, very clearly what these presentations are addressing. We need to focus on the livelihood, capacity building and skills development. Availability of government funding for startups. Startups happen through passion from people, through solving problems. Simple problems, but solutions being offered by people. And I can see that in this area, the Northeast, there's lots of people who are capable of doing, but unfortunately they need to leave the area and go somewhere else because the opportunities are not available here. And one of the other things that happens is that change happens, governments change, and the programs disappear or they come to a standstill. And one of the things that the applications we would like to implement in the education system in the Northeast is to be able to track that, which is regardless of who is in power. And we have data and we have continuity. I think Ms. Ethiopia had very eloquently put forward some of the issues, and I went through each one of them, and I realized that we are offering exactly the solution for each of those points she mentioned. And she mentioned identify competency levels, IT skills, accountability, compliance with the national and international standards, placement, retention rates. I think we heard all these from a number of delegates. And how do we manage those? And how do we track those? Is the application what Indigify is offering to colleges. What we would like to do is to offer it as a Northeast solution rather than for this college and that college, because that doesn't really solve the issues. And in partnership with the government, feedback the information back into the departments who are funding these efforts. I heard some of the services mentioned as potentials for this area, and I've had a chance to work with a company. Ms. Sangeeta mentioned 3D specifically, printing, and we have a sister company based in Mohali. They are actually doing a 3D scanner which can scan your body and send the file to a printer, 3D printer, and produce a statue of you, 1 foot tall statue in about 4 hours. Exact copy with the folds in your clothes, in your hair, exactly as you would look. So innovation is there. I think what we need to do is target this incubation, the startup culture, have partnerships with the universities and industry, bring everybody together. And this is what our application is designed to do. It's moving on to jump through some of the slides. One of the things I've just found out that and part of the success of that is that this NSDC training partners is that how do we make them accountable? How do we track them? Okay, I've had my orders to finish quickly. I'll jump through. I won't go through the product because the slide pack is part of the on the ICSI website, so everybody is welcome to please look through it. We have a number of applications based on the same platform, and the applications are learning management system, asset management system, a campaign, political campaign management system. We actually have managed it for INLD a year and a half ago in Haryana. We have 700,000 people in our database. So this is just to show the breadth of the application. I had an opportunity to visit 2 educational shows in the last 2 weeks, one in London and one in Amsterdam. And there was one company from India offering content in the London show out of the 500-600 companies there. And 30% of the other companies were Chinese. So I think we need to look at this. How do we take our innovation across to other countries, and how do we make them grow? And that's part of generating jobs, generating skills that are needed right here. I'm going to wind up now. Just one slide. So we had worked with the Punjab government to implement this system in their higher education colleges. The Minister for Higher Education, Mr. Sujit Singh Rakta, was kind enough to come and do the inauguration at the government college in Patiala. So there are 6,000 students in our database, and we have a number of other colleges. Right now we have 40,000 students. By the end of the year, we should be at least 300,000 to 400,000 students in our database. So the premise is that we can manage, we can track, we can hold accountable, and for skills, that's the key. As a final note to Dr. Sharma, and for all the ICSI activities going on, we are going to offer to manage all their activities, all their delegates, everything from a single source database. Everybody can access it. Everybody will have their own individual access into that, and we will offer that for free. Thank you very much.